This is the first time since I've been making videos on this channel. This is the very first time I'm actually going to have to split a rant into two parts. Where there's the general rant that I'm about to give about this film. And then there is another rant that I'm going to have to give in regards to Sony and what I think they're attempting to build. This movie is ass. And I have the same issue with this film that I did with Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, which is this film is all flash, no substance. The problem that this film has and why it's objectively worse than Let There Be Carnage is that in Let There Be Carnage, the main attraction was Carnage himself. Like, anytime, I'm telling you right now, if you were to go on TikTok or YouTube and you were to find a scene pack of just everything Carnage did in Venom 2, it looks absolutely fun, crazy, wild. You'll have a blast. But when you sit down and you take those scenes and you start placing them in the film, it becomes an objectively worse film the more you watch it. Carnage on screen, fun. Carnage no longer on screen, head scratching. What the fuck is going on? This film suffers from that issue as well. But the only problem is, and it's exasperated, is the fact that there is no Carnage. There is no super cool villain to be able to get behind. It's just big CGI monsters that you really don't give a shit about. The main attraction that the trailers made you think was going to be like this unstoppable force in the form of no filler. He's there, he's not there. It's like getting Thanos at the end of the first Avengers film, where he pops up for the first 5 seconds, then he pops up for a few seconds in the middle, then he pops up again for a few seconds at the end, and that's it. There's no build up to what's going on with Null in any way, shape, or form. The characters in this are interesting, but for the most part, they are done a major fucking disservice to the point where I actually started connecting where I've seen these characters before in other films. Like, for instance, Chiwetel Ejiofor's character, the General. He's the same fucking general that Elliot Stabler played in Man of Steel. Same dude. Where he's like, I'm a military man and I need to protect America because these things, these aliens are invading our sovereign lands and we got to get them up out of here. Exact same thing. What happens towards the end of the film? Oh shit, hold on, wait a minute. Wait a minute. This one alien? This one alien isn't that bad. He may actually be a good guy. Let me team up with him, then die. The other symbiotes get introduced, and you're like, okay, we got Banshee over there, we got Scream over there, we got my boy with the club hands over there. I'm like, all right, this is gonna be cool. I actually thought what we were working towards was Venom sacrificing himself heroically in some way, shape, or form, and the other symbiotes kind of coming together to make the lethal protectors plural. Nope, they're gonna get 3 seconds of screen time and they're gonna get picked off one by one. Even the super cool symbiote that I nicknamed Christmas, I was really hoping that symbiote would survive. Hell no, that symbiote's fucking dead. Then all of a sudden, like, the other fucking girl gets a symbiote that is the equivalent of Scream, but she has some type of, I can only assume, is the Speed Force. Like, she has some type of connection to the Speed Force because for whatever reason in this film, Shawty got hit with a bolt of lightning as though she was Barry Allen himself. And I was just sitting there like, this is going to come back into play. And it's one of the things that I truly do hate about this film, which is it presents something big in front of you, and then it's like, we'll get back to that later. Like, for instance, they're breaking down Area 51, and for whatever reason, instead of the military just demolishing shit or coming in and picking shit and taking it away, No, we're going to build a giant complex in the center of Area 51 that requires this one guy to walk up to it and scan his eyeballs so that it can rain acid down on whatever the thing is that we put there and completely fucking melt it. The United States military built this specific thing in Area 51 that I can only assume cost a couple $billion, that in no way, shape, or form are these chemicals going to come back into play later on in the film in any way. There's no way the character who got struck by lightning as though she's Barry fucking Allen's daughter is going to come back into play and suddenly develop the fucking Speed Force, and nobody can stand here and tell me that that was not the Speed Force. I'm telling you right now, when this film comes out on DVD, I want someone to take Barry Allen getting struck by lightning, and as he's laying there fucking comatose, the orange electricity going over his body, and then go back to that exact scene with that chick where she gets the symbiote for the first time. Same fucking lightning. Someone walked into the CW department and was like, hey, we've hit the maximum budget for our film. I need to borrow the flash animations for 5 minutes of my film. And I'm not going to explain shit. Connection to her brother? Not explained in any way, shape, or form. Why the fuck she got struck by lightning in the middle of a clear sky on a fucking beach? We're not going to explain that in any way, shape, or form. No sending an infinite amount of these fucking creatures out into the multiverse, then the creature sending a ping back to Null like, hey dog, what you hunting? It's over here, and I need backup because these symbiotes is whooping my ass. And he's like, you know what? This thing that I need, this thing that I require, that's going to aid me in conquering the entirety of the universe, I'ma send 4 out of my infinite army that I sent out across the multiverse to look for this one guy. Now that I know where that one guy is at, I'm going to send 4. No. Huh? Like, huh? Like, no. And then he's just chilling in his universe with the Necro Sword. And it's like, well, how is he contained? It's like, oh, we put Null to sleep. He's locked away. Yeah, but in the comics, he was locked away without the Necro Sword. Because if he did have the Necro Sword, he'd just be able to slice his way out that bitch. Kills fucking Celestials, kills other fucking gods and shit. Man's just chilling there on his throne as though he's doing a promo for fucking Game of Thrones. Ned Stark out here. Necro Sword in his fucking hand. Satan. Like, nah, son, I need the sigil. The sigil is what I require. Because without the sigil, I'm not going to be able to get the fuck up out of here. Man, swing that bitch. Yeet. You be right out of that realm. Right out of that realm and fucking free. But then the symbiotes are running. They're running away from Null because they created this prison. And they're fleeing the prison because Null has released like these symbiote eaters. But now that the symbiotes have fled the planet, they're all gone. And it's just the symbiote things or the symbiote eaters that are there with Null. Who's keeping them locked up? What's keeping them locked up? The symbiotes ran away. There are no symbiotes here on this planet. It is explained by Venom. The symbiotes fled. There's nothing locking Null away on top of this planet except for himself. I kind of feel as though it's like that one episode of Doctor Who where Clara comes into the room and the doctors all look at her and they're like, how'd you get the door open? And she's like, door's open the entire time. Like, I feel as though Null's been sitting there on his throne and at no point in time has he been like, yo, what if I just walked outside? Who would stop me? Who would stop me in any way, shape, or form if I walked outside? Also, where the fuck did this organization come from? All of a sudden, first off, it blows my mind, and maybe I've never paid attention to the chronology of this entire series, but it blows my mind that Venom 1 in universe for these films happened a year ago, which means that in 1 year, we had Eddie Brock in the space incident with Riot. We had Eddie Brock and Carnage. We had Eddie Brock going to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then we had him bouncing back to his universe and dealing with all this shit in this film. Eddie Brock is on a run. He's not on a John Wick run where he's just fighting for his life over like an entire week, but he's on one hell of a run. But throughout this entire time, there's a top secret Area 55 organization run by the United States government that captures and contains symbiotes. Where were you in the first film? Where were you in the second film? How did you suddenly pop up now? Because if it's only been 1 year, there's no way in hell you all have built this entire containment network structure down here that's capturing symbiotes as they crash on the planet, that knows that symbiote shed and has containment devices ready to capture them as though they're fucking pals in Pal World or goddamn Pokemon. There's no way this organization just popped up 2 months ago. The United States military is good, but it ain't that good to suddenly be able to shift everything and be able to fight, fight and capture extraterrestrials without them having done it for a really, really, really long fucking time. And of course, the first fucking symbiote that they catch is the most helpful symbiote on the face of the planet. He's like, oh yeah, I am here to assist you and answer all of your questions. You see, the villain of this universe, his name is Null, and he has to capture Venom. Because you see, if Venom, if a symbiote resurrects someone from a wound that would kill them, they become bonded. Do you want to know what the first thing fucking happens when the symbiotes get free? A guy gets impaled. I'm talking through the chest, from the bottom of the neck down to about right here. Giant spike through his chest. Giant hole in his chest. Symbiote jumps on him, completely fucking heals him. I was like, oh, that guy's gonna have the codex as well. Like, this is a situation, like, if the symbiotes are gonna be saving these people who are being injured, then that dude who just got resurrected definitely has the codex now. Nah, dog. No codex. We're not playing by the rules that we set forth because we never cared about the rules. We never cared about the rules. It's all show, no substance. We're just throwing things at the wall, hoping that you won't realize that the storyline that we're presenting to you is shit. And it's like, why? You have the potential to actually make a really, really cool film. If Null was something that was introduced from the very first film, where the entire reason why Riot left, why they came to the planet, everything was set up in the first film, and then we slowly had a build to him. He'd been fantastic being revealed in this film. Then we could have something along the lines of like King in Black, maybe for this Venom verse, or he could be utilized in like a really, really cool way. He's just a dude. He's a dude sitting on a chair that he could probably walk outside any fucking time, but he's been locked in for billions of years, and he just thinks he's stuck, when in truth, he actually fucking isn't. There's a part 2 to this. There's a part 2 to this fucking rant. All right? But I need water. I need water and I need time. I need time to be able to just regather my thoughts, because there ain't no way we're building towards what I think we are building towards. Man, if you've seen this film, if you even want to see this film, comment down below, because it can't only just be me. It can't only just be me disappointed in this shit. It can't just be me. It can't only just be me who was excited in the beginning when they started this whole Venomverse thing, and then as it progressed, just got more and more disappointed in what we were getting. Because if they actually cared, if Sony actually cared, we could have gotten a really, really, really cool Venomverse. But they didn't care. All they care about is flashing that stupid fucking in association with Marvel banner in their fucking trailers and in the movie itself to try and ride off the coattails of the MCU. It worked fine for the first Venom film. It didn't work so well for the second, and I really don't see it working anymore for the third. Maybe they'll be able to maybe they'll be able to make a profit off of this. They'll probably break even. I think this film cost like 120 million to make, or something along those lines. Maybe they'll be able to pull that off. Let's see how much this Venom 3. How much does Venom 3 cost? Venom 3 The Last Dance costs, where's it at? 120 million. Will they be able to make 120 million? Maybe. Will they be able to break even? Breaking even will probably be around 240 million, 250 million. May maybe. I need some water. I need some water. I need to wind down a little bit because I can't go right into my second rant as wound up as I am.